Fool, I lost a leg and everybody's still like, what happened to Danny? They're like,
You didn't lose
damn.
the leg, nigga, because I went in your mama's pussy and the leg was still there.
Oh, you went in my mom's
Got
pussy
put
and
on,
the
nigga.
leg.
That shit never got put on your way out.
Oh my god, you're funny, bro.
Motherfucking leg was on a pussy shelf. There was an elf on a shelf and a leg in her pussy.
You're funny, man. You're funny. I'm telling you, bro.
Nigga, what's weird is that your mom is the only bitch that got a camel toenail.
A camel toe. Dude. I'm telling you, fool.
That's
The
ridiculous.
funny shit is, the way the show's gonna be is that every time we bag on your mom, she's gonna come out. She's gonna come out my bedroom, nigga, in her panties, with a little horn going. Brrr.
Nigga, what's weird is that your mommy got 4 titties in 8 flavors.
That's funny. The funny thing is,
Got every agua fresca. Across her titties, she got a tattoo that says agua fresca.
that's funny because your mom's titties, when you squeeze them, nigga, horchata comes out.
That's what comes out of your mom's butthole.
That's funny. Yeah, I wouldn't
But
know what comes out of my mom's
except
butthole.
we call it horchata.
Wow, that's funny. That's funny though, that's funny, bro. Cause this morning, like at 6 in the morning, when I picked your mom up from county, your bitch was like, "Never again," and I was like, "Bitch, I pick you up from jail every week." in fact, the funny shit is that when your mom walked out of jail, the all the guards were like, "See you Friday."
Your mom runs her podcast right out of prison.
That's funny because your mom was like, I was like, "Why you keep getting arrested?" She's like, "It's all good." She's like, "I suck the cop's dick and they let me go all the time."
Your mom has a tattoo on her trap stamp that says butthole drive through.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. That's funny. Well, that's funny because your mom be trapping her pussy at rallies.
Hey, I know why you was born without a leg because you came out of your mom's butthole.
That's funny.
You
That's
came out
funny.
of
I
your
didn't.
mom's butthole.
I don't know if you know,
That's why,
nigga, but you
that's
were
why you
born
got
like a lit.
shitty.
When your mom had you, nigga, your mom was born like a litter. You were born like a litter. There was like 9 of you. only like you survived.
You was born sucking your own dick. You know that, right?
I was born sucking my own dick. Yeah, my dick's that big.
No, your neck's that long. ET. You're like, I don't know.
That's funny. That's fine. Oh wow, you're around. You're actually around a woman. Was that a woman's voice? I mean, you're so used to waking up in bed with men.
That's Starbucks.
Is that Michael? Is that Michael playing? Is that Michael in a wig?
I think I share one macchiato. What's that? I share one macchiato. Oh, I'm sorry. Listening back to them. Give me an ice
Oh,
macchiato.
it's a woman at Starbucks.
With 2 extra shots of venti.
I get it.
Yeah, can I get a tall caramel frappuccino, please? Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's no ribbon crunch after all. No.
that's 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 the gayest coffee order I've ever heard. That's the order of two gay men. That's funny. Hey, I was like a woman's voice. I was like, you kick it with women, and then I was like, oh, okay, Starbucks up, of course.
You don't kick it with men, you kick it with seamen.
Fool, you just kick it with man, bro. Like once again, look how early it is. You're like, yeah, me and my man Michael just waking up, just fucking get some morning coffee. You're like,
Claim how ahead of yourself you are because you hang out with nutmeg.
okay, you're like, yeah, I wake up in the morning with Michael, I blow him, and then we go get a coffee.
I only have the large.
Damn, that's funny, man. That was the gayest Starbucks order ever.
Juggling testicles?
That's funny, bro. You still let Michael pour pumpkin spice latte over your ass. Anyway, what up? Anyway, I'm gonna do my morning show, bro. I'm gonna let you. Yeah, that's Cholo. Shout out to Isaiah Gary. Yeah, that's Cholo Lancinco calling with his morning Starbucks gay order. What up, 2Mex? What up? Anyway,
I'm gonna log on to see.
all right, fool. I'm gonna get this show started, bro. Cause you're I'm gonna let you and your man. I'm gonna let you and your man drink your Starbucks and get your morning hug on. Is that Michael with you? Oh, you're with Gorilla Arms. You guys got the couple card and shit. Michael, Michael, you woke up with Danny this morning, right?
What's
Yeah,
that?
you woke up with Danny this morning, right?
We just got to Vegas. Now we're on our way back.
Oh, you guys got married. You guys got married in the chapel in Vegas.
No, we came to. So your mom has a new thing she's doing in prison. She sells cigarettes. We came to leave her a case of cigarettes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you guys went to go to Vegas to bail your mom out of jail.
You know what your mom does? It's kind of racist. So she puts all the cigarettes in her butthole, and then she sells them as niggerettes.
Wow, that was corny. But anyway, all right, you guys are stupid. Anyway, let me get back to my podcast here, fool. All right, let me know tomorrow. We're gonna do the bagging podcast then, and you're gonna come with better jokes. All right, you and Michael gonna like have an all night writing session and like hold each other tight.
You got a podcast for everything, nigga.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, fool. I'm trying to make it happen over here with my network. But all right, fool. I'll let you go.
Nigga, just remember, nigga, you're like the Terminator version of Clive.
You're like Chet from Weird Science.
All right, sir, Clive.
You're stupid. All right, man. All right, let me get my show started over here. All right, later, man. Later. Oh my god. Sorry, yeah, that was Cholo Lancinco. And anyway, that's that. He just happened to call me as we're starting the show. Hope you guys are doing good. Sorry you guys had to hear that. That's how we call each other and just talk a lot of shit. What's going on, man? Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to the 2Mex Hologram Podcast. It's Tuesday morning. That's the way you saw that was some X-rated joking, but that's just the way me and Cholo Lancingo get down. That's how we show friendship to each other. But anyways, oh my god, I hope you're having a good day. It's Tuesday. Fuck, man. I'm like, my neck hurts real bad, bro. But like, I don't know why I be sleeping the way I be sleeping. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. Welcome to the 2Mex Hologram Podcast. What do we talk about, man? There's so many subjects to talk about. If you have any questions you guys want to ask me about anything, whether it's the topic of the day, music, hip hop, just jump in the chat room. We already have 8 people in the chat room, and we could get things started. But one topic I wanted to talk about, at least if I could just kickstart something, is I was just talking to somebody very important in my life, and we were talking about how people like to get taken advantage of, or like we're talking about how you don't like to see your mom or your dad or somebody that you love and care for being taken advantage of. And sometimes when you step into that, when you try to like help, people that you love that are being taken advantage of, sometimes you turn into the bad guy. I know I've experienced that since when I was young. One of my friends that I lived with at a very young age, he was getting taken advantage of by a female, and I was on some like, man, fuck that. I'm not gonna let my homie get taken advantage of by this chick. And my homie was all in love, and she did not look at him like that. She was like, he's my little homie. He's just letting me live here for free, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I kind of like blew the situation up. But instead of my homie being like, thanks, I don't want to be taken advantage of by this chick, he was so mad at me. And in fact, he stopped talking to me for 10 to 15 years. And 10 to 15 years later, he was like, I'm sorry, man. I was a child. What a dummy. I'm so sorry. And I was like, nah, that's cool. But I learned back then at like 18 years old to not get into people's business. I have friends that sometimes are being taken advantage of. It happens mostly in family, where one family member between the mom and the kid, there's always like a favorite, and the kid is always there's always somebody in the family taking advantage of shit, and it sucks. But anyway, let's get into this chat room and say what's up. Isaiah, Gary, what's up? Uh, it says Cloud Cookie, Cloudster Cookie. Good morning. Adrian, what's up? Yo, what up? 2Mex, what's up, brother? And Juan Estrada says great start. Oh yeah, I was just joking around. You know what I mean? But any questions you guys have, please let me know what's up. And so yeah, sometimes when you're trying to be a friend, I have a couple friends that they're dating somebody and like that person's taking mad advantage of them, just living with them, not paying rent, not contributing, no job, no fucking future, just leeching off somebody completely, and sometimes when you love somebody, you're blind. Either you love them and you're blind, or some people like to be treated like that. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen, if you've ever thought about, some of the grossest shit you've ever heard, like the way people are, I think it comes out a lot in like sexual fetishes or whatever, but there's just people that like to get beat up, there's people that like to get peed on, there's people that like to get shat on, and you're just like, your mind can't conceive why someone wants to get treated like that. And there's just something inside of people that they want to be treated like shit. And I've learned that. Like I said, I learned that at 18 years old with one of my best friends, and that I lost for years. And I lost a friend of mine for 10, 15 years. We made up after that, and we're cool. And to be honest, we're not even friends the same way that we were. You know what I mean? And I was like, here I am trying to be on some like ride or die for my homie. Like, nah, fuck that. I'm not like, trying to let my homie get taken advantage of. I mean, shit. I've been taken advantage of a lot. You know what I mean? Over the years. Shit, I just got taken advantage of by an employee like 4 or 5 months ago. You know what I mean? I was vending. Anybody knows what's up with the 2Mex that I be vending? My new vendor Jay is the shit. So shout out to Hi Jay, who's a vendor of mine, and we work together, and she's super cool when we vend at Taco Sesh or we vend at the Turp Market. But before that, I had another vendor, and just straight jack me, just straight lazy. I'm over here giving you hundreds, trying to put you to work, trying to help, trying to be the most convenient, and just someone just jacked me, and I was just like, and even then, because I had love for this person, I was like, yeah, it's cool. We'll just take care of me, like just this and that. And we got to the point where we couldn't be cordial anymore about it. I kind of lost my temper and was like, dude. And then the funny thing was, in this situation and in another situation where I'm talking about somebody with the family, as much as you want it to be like a character flaw, or like somebody's just, why is somebody so mean, or why is somebody treating somebody like shit? In the case of this other person, it was drugs. It's just drugs, you know. In the case of my homie L.A. Leslie, who jacked me for $1,600, I have one word: cocaine. It's cocaine. You know what I mean? It's like cocaine is a hell of a drug, and it's really, instead of me trying to be like, why are you treating me like this? Why? It's like, no, you're a drug addict. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? So that kind of shit happens. So, but once again, some people like to be treated like shit. Some people just, that's their MO, you know what I mean? And we can't, as a friend, sometimes as a third party friend, we can't do anything about it. So sometimes, instead of getting mad, you become the bad guy, you know what I mean? In the case of somebody that's really close to me, she was saying that her brother, who's kind of whack, and takes advantage of the parents, and is always like pimping the parents out for the shit. And it makes her so mad, and it's like, you know what, at the end of the day, you can't do anything about it. This ain't Fight Back with David. You can't, like, as much as we want to be news reporters and be like, yo, I'm not trying to let that happen. ultimately, ultimately, it is. It's just like that. Like some people like to be treated like shit. I don't. I don't like to be treated like shit. I have a bad habit of when someone disrespects me, I cut them off. Which could be a reason why I'm not married and don't have kids, and have issues sometimes with attachment. You know what I mean? Me personally, if I'm talking about myself, you know what I mean? So it's like for me, it's like I go through that. You know what I mean? I have a thing where I just don't like being treated like shit, but shit, everybody gets taken advantage of sometimes. You know what I mean? It just depends on how it goes down, and it depends on what taking advantage of is. Sometimes small time, some advice, small work, acceptable. We love people, we love the people that we love, and we want to help them, and we want to build with them. And then there's some people that look at you like a well, and they just keep going to the well. Like fuck it, this person's always there, always there, always there. I've done it myself. In fact, I've done it inadvertently, and and uh, and 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 I think it depends on what you're getting from people. Are you getting something from them emotionally? Are you in some cases in the past when I was in my 20s, am I getting something off you physically? You know what I mean? And that I think that goes back to what we were talking about yesterday. If you checked in yesterday, we were talking about wilding out or wilding out, and when you're young and you're immature and shit like that. And there was a time when I was in my 20s where yeah, I felt like maybe I was using people because for the we all when you think about the man woman dynamic, you think about being seen with someone attractive because it makes you look better. It's just a reflection of you. It's the same way with the way you treat people. You know what I mean? There's people that have so much love for you, they'll do anything for you. And I always have a problem asking. I don't now in my 40s. I don't have a problem asking for shit. Like I'd be like, yo, if I'm putting in work, yes, pay me. If I'm doing this, yes, reward me. I used to try to do the most I could and never even think about a payment. And then sometimes you have to value your time. But there's just a lot of people that like to be treated like shit. And when you're the third party standing out on the outside looking in, you can't do anything about it. And I think that's that's it's unfortunate, but it's just the way shit goes. Let me see what we've got to say. What's up? Juan Estrada was the last message. Then we got Luna from OG Foods. To you, buenos dias. Buenos dias, Luna from OG Foods. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm so happy for the 5 people in the chat room that are building with us. You know what I mean? Tom Valencia shouts from Montana. What up, Tommy V? The Vizzle. Yo, Craig be in here, man. So one of your favorite supporters. Shout out to Tommy V from Fake Four or from I don't know what crew you represent, brother, but Tommy V. Shout out to Tommy V, man. It's a good dude right there. Tommy V. Tommy V's a perfect example. Let me give you an example. I know Tommy's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said nothing, but you're a perfect example, G. Tommy V, who I love and is a talented, incredibly talented guy that I saw. I saw the growth of Tommy V, artistic wise, and just as a person. He was a great dude. Tommy V at some point lived on my couch, lived on different people's couches, kind of was couch surfing, doing his thing. There's times that Tommy was kind of caught up in the down and out vibe and needed a lot of help. And we love Tommy. We helped him. I'll never forget. Let's say fast forward a couple years later, Tommy V just comes to my door with like CDs that like he's like, yo, I made you all. I burned. This is back when the burning CDs, and he was like, yo, I burned all these CDs, man. I wanted to share all this music with you all, and he had all these like rare, dope CDs, and it was like he was saying like, thank you, man. Thank you for letting me stay with you and let me do things, and then he brought me like a little money, like unexpectedly. I was like, hey, man, I have $100, couple $100. I just wanted to say thank you, bro, for letting me live with you or feeding me or this and that, and what that shows, because I never for one moment ever thought a person like Tommy V was taking advantage of me. It was like, yo, I love this brother and I'm helping him out. And to think that that kind of thing was on his mind, and years later he came back in his mind like a real man, like an honorable man, like an honorable human, like a good person, and was like, yo, this and that, here's a little offering. That meant the world to me, and I always have respect for Tommy, but it took my respect level for you, brother, to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? Because of that, that's like some man shit. You know what I mean? you know I'll give you another. I'll give you an example for me. It's like one of the last shows that I threw, which is why once again I don't throw shows anymore, and I don't really feel like I ever want to throw one again. We'll see. But I lost so much money throwing shows. I mean, I honestly can calculate $50,000 to $70,000. Like, I'd probably be rich if I fucking never threw a show. But along with losing money throwing shows, I had investors that lost money with me, and sometimes I wasn't able to pay back those investors, right? And in one case, I was somebody invested 3 G's. There was two people that put 1,500 up, and like maybe like a couple months ago, I hit one. I owed them like 3 G's, and I hit them up and was like, "Here's $500." And I was like, it's not 3 G's or the profit or whatever, but and that was years ago. That was like something that happened three years ago, and maybe I was having a little bit of dough, and I was like, yo, I'll fucking, even though it's not the 3 G's, I was like, here's $500. Like, here's just something, because I actually probably have it. Like, even I didn't have the three, I had the five, and I was like, here, and so. You know what I mean? Like, when you try to be honorable, even when you make mistakes, that shit goes a long way. Whereas in other situations, people take advantage of you, and it never ends. And but it's not about you being a sucker or not. It's about, do some people enjoy that? And I find it not as much with finances, but I find it a lot more with love, and love and companionship. You know what I mean? So shout out to Tommy V, man, for being the wonderful fucking human that you are. I love you, Tommy. And it's funny that you hit me up from Montana, because you kind of fit in one way. I just want to tell you that I respect you as a man for coming back years later, and just that small offering meant the world to me. Anyway, but yeah, that's the topic of the day for now. Until you ask me questions, any questions you have in the chat room, ask me questions about hip hop or about anything. But yeah, just, are there some people that just like to be taken advantage of? And I think more when it comes to love, I think they do. I think it has to do with love and loneliness. There's a really great song by anybody know Hobo Johnson and the Love Makers? Anybody ever heard of that guy, Hobo Johnson? This kid who's from, I think he's from Sacramento. Incredible artist, man. Very like, I had never seen a rapper that was like, man, this as a emo rapper or alternative rapper, you know, you idolize Robert Smith and The Cure and Morrissey and shit. But this kid, Hobo Johnson, really embodied the Morrissey vibe, or he definitely embodied the emo vibe a lot. And I personally like his music, but a lot of his songs have there's a song where he's like, I love the thought of being with you, or maybe it's the thought of not being so alone. And that really resonates a lot. And because I think a lot of people can relate with that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people would. I think I found that myself when I was younger. That that a lot of people, and I've never been, shit, dude. It's funny to feel lonely when thousands of people love you, but it happens. It's so weird to feel lonely when thousands of people care about you. But even with that being said, there was a time where I understood that a lot more. And I would put up with a lot of shit in the name of not wanting to be lonely. And I think a lot of us do that. You know what I mean? I think maybe in this new social media world it's different, but you know maybe it's the thought of not being so alone. Sometimes you were like, I put up with shit because You want to be loved so bad, or you want this one person to love you so bad. You know what I mean? That we would sometimes you get taken advantage of. You know what I mean? And that thing kind of goes with the whole concept of of what you do for love. You know what I mean? Like what do you do for love? You ever heard that Psycho Rome song, Confessions of a Drug Addict? What type of drugs do you do? And what do you do to get your hands on your shit, motherfucker? It's like love is the drug. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? What do you do to get the love from the person that you want to love you? Because we all have the ability to be loved. We all have strangers. And to be honest with you, we all have people that secretly are, not even secretly, are in love with us, but we have a lot of people in our lives. All of us have people in our lives that love and care about us. And if we were smart enough, or not even smart enough, but if we felt the same way, we would be, we would be less lonely, you know? I think that's always been the greatest thing in the world to try to solve is like, you know, I'm in love with this woman, but she's in love with some other dude. And maybe that guy is in love with somebody else. So now she's pining for this dude that maybe doesn't pay attention to her, maybe only wants her for sex and for her flesh, but he's never going to give her the full commitment and friendship and everything that she wants. So she's fucking sad. Meanwhile, she looks back. If she looked back, there's people like someone like myself who thinks this person is amazing and wants to love them, but it's the same shit. I would want something from them that they can't give me because they're in love with somebody else that doesn't love them, and in love with somebody else that doesn't love them, and so on and so on. And how do you break the chain? The only way to break the chain is when both parties mutually connect, and there's an agreement and an understanding and a commitment to work things out. And that's the only way these things work. You know what I mean? Everything else is just, whether it's lustfulness or longing. I think the word longing is better than the word lustfulness, but the word longing, you know what I mean? And is it you want someone because they're a reflection of what you want, them to be, or is it because you generally care? You know what I mean? These are the topics, you know what I'm saying? We have another comment. Much love, Tommy. Choco Blitz. What's up, Choco Blitz? I recognize you from IG. Choco Blitz, like Robin Williams, bro. People hide it too easily, man. Yeah, I don't like. I love Robin Williams, and he obviously he had a deep dark depression. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely, man. I mean, a lot of us, rest in peace to Robin Williams, dude. I fucking love Robin Williams. I used to watch his old Morgan Mindy. I used to watch, but I used to watch his old comedy specials and shit. He was super fucking. That dude was coked out, bro, and super funny and shit. But yeah, man. I mean, depression. Yeah, it just does it go to depression? Thank you, Choco Blitz, for opening that chamber. Like, are we being treated like shit because we're depressed and we'll take anything? Like, I have a friend that I'm very close with, which I won't name, but yeah, he's being taken advantage of. And I when I look at my homie, man, I'm like, you're such a dope ass person. And in fact, and the funny thing is, I know for a fact that other women that would be mad quality are attracted to him, but he's just in his mind. He feels like he can't do better than this whack ass person that's sucking him dry like a vampire. And all I could do is sit on the sidelines and be mad, because if I try to help, or my advice given just falls on deaf ears, because he's like, yeah, I know, but she won't let me go. Yeah, I know. I try to break up with her, but she won't. And she won't leave, and she won't. It's like, man, if it's not there, then he don't want to. He tries, but because this person's personality is overwhelmingly like, no, fuck that. I'm not leaving my meal ticket. I'm not fucking gonna, walk away. It's just like there's people that are vampires. You know what I mean? So anyway, we do we have another question here? Let's see. Thank you, Choco Blitz, for opening that little chamber for a second. We have Jason Sandoval. What's up, brother? You're becoming a regular on here. How did the visionaries come up with the concept for the song Galleries? Galaxies? For the song Galaxies. What song is Galaxies? We have a. How did the visionaries come up with the concept of the song Galaxies? What song is that, bro? You talking about galleries? You're gonna have to specify. I might have you call in for that. How did the visionaries come up with the concept for the song Galaxies? I don't know. I don't know the song Galaxies, but maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe you'll explain it to me in a second. But yeah, man, visionaries. In case people don't know, thank you for tuning into 2Mex TV. Please subscribe and like it and watch the other videos on this channel, man. There's a lot of dope underground hip hop on here. By the way, my name's Alex. They call me 2Mex and this and that. But Visionaries is one of my bands. For those people that don't know, I'm in multiple bands, and probably the Visionaries, which is a 6-man collective out of LA, is the most prominent band. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So as soon as I find out what Galaxies is, or we correct that part, and I figure out what song it is, then I'm gonna answer your question, Jason. But yeah, man. There's just people just like to be treated bad, and I know me personally. When I think about my relationships in the past, there was some times where I was being. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being treated bad, or I wanted somebody so bad that I was willing to put up with that shit. You know, I remember in my younger days, I used to drive to the valley every day. I was so in love with somebody, so in love that spending all my money meant nothing. I was like, are you kidding? I'm all my money, which was no money back then. I'm going to spend it all on gas to go see someone every day that I cared about. And all I wanted to do was be with them. And they were just like, you're just my little homie. You're just my friend. I got to watch this person go be with other dudes, and like dudes would treat her like shit, and like hit her, fucking dude hit her, and I'm standing here like, why do you put up with that shit when I'm right here? And it was like, no, it doesn't matter that you're right there. You're not the one for her in her mind. So as much as you want to be there for her, as much as you want to spend time, as much as you want to spend your time and your money, and you're there like offering, you're like an open book, like I'm here for you. As much as that happens, it wasn't gonna be, it wasn't gonna manifest ever. So am I being taken advantage of? Is this person, they're not obligated to love me. They're not obligated to love me. Just because you walk up on a woman and say, hi, I like you, that doesn't make them obligated to love you. You know what I mean? So it's like there's nobody in the wrong. Am I in the wrong in my mind for wanting to be with them? No, it's just the natural course of things. And as I got older, I became that dude. I became that dude. I became that person where somebody wants to love me, and I was like, and I was like, why? And I would look at this person and be like, well, shit, I'm lonely. Why don't I get with a person or two that's here, like offering themselves to me? And it's like, and it would scramble your brain, like, why? And maybe in my 20s, I accepted that person in the physical, in a sexual way, or in a, like making out, or like, just not, don't want to be lonely, so I'm gonna chill with this girl. But it was funny that I went from being that guy longing for someone that never wanted to spend time with me to being on the other side. And when I was on the other side, that's when I learned that that's the way life is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're that on one side of the coin, and sometimes you're on the other. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if we got another question here. I think we do. Sorry, bro, for the dong. Stargazer. Yeah, I thought it would be Stargazer. Stargazer. Is that I never seen on the dance floor? You never seen at the bar. I know exactly who you are. I admire the star. That's a dope song, man. That beat was so dope. It's from the Visionaries' first album, Galleries. Stargazer. Dun, 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 dun. That song was dope. I think we wanted to make, I think at that time, being that was the first Visionaries album, um, that's probably the only love song on that record, or a song addressing women specifically, since Visionaries Galleries was so on some hip hop shit. You know what I mean? We had first album, so Stargazer was kind of like, with Elemental being a Christian, and everybody in Visionaries being respectful towards women, because we're all positive guys. So, that song was the first time that we made a song addressing women, and so everybody had their own take. The beat was so like dope, almost romantic, sexy vibe, and so we all just kind of like took our turn about what kind of woman we were looking for. So, from what I remember, that was just, that's the first Visionaries girl song. Sorry, man, I just woke up. I've got a coffee right here, but it's an iced coffee and it was in the freezer, so I'm letting it melt a little. It's actually fucking cold. So anyway, after days of fucking 100-degree heat, but here in Los Angeles or in Long Beach. But yeah, man, I think that was the first Visionaries girl song, and I think we all just took a turn at, you know the kind of women we want in our life. Visionaries taught me something that me and AWOL one. Shout out to AWOL one. Me and AWOL one time way back when we were first friends and we were making music. AWOL was like, I don't understand why we always meet the same kind of woman, and it's like, well, shit, all we talk about is broken women, women that are broken. Of course we're gonna meet broken women. When I clicked up with the Visionaries, and maybe it was Elemental's Christian vibe, or I don't know, all the guys are nice and everything. It was like, you get what you project. The Visionaries project love, 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 love. Well, shit, that's what we got. We get love because we project positivity, we project love. When I make my own music, sometimes I project darkness, I project depression, I project loneliness, I project longing, I project fiending, I project, and that's what I get. You know what I mean? So I learned through Visionaries and Elemental in particular, and AWOL, that you get. You know what I mean? Put your hand over the what? Hold on a second. I'm doing something wrong. Hold on. He said, "Hey, put your hand over the camera and pull it near you a little. It's a little blurry." Okay, cool. Let me put the camera near me. Hold on. I don't know if that worked. I think I pushed the chair back because I wanted to kick my leg up. So that's that. Anyway, I don't care if it's blurry. You don't gotta see me in high def, homie. Thank you though, Kill Searay. You're the man. Anyway, but I got it. Let's see if that worked. If that helped. Let me go back over here. Hold on a second. But anyway, but that I think that's the origins of that song. You know what I mean? I think that's the origins of that song. You know what I mean? Let's see what we have here. Let me see. Stargazer. We have Choco Blitz. Looking forward to seeing an interview with you and Die, bro. That'd be a dope interview. Yeah, Die Young is the man, bro. I love Die Young. Jason Sandoval song. You're good. Danksta. What up? Good morning, Danksta 710. Good morning, man. Sending you love from La Puente. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you were telling me, thanks to that, you had PayPal me, but it didn't go through. You know, we're just getting started on this. Yeah, maybe my PayPal, something's wrong with it, but You know what I wanted to tell people was, as far as supporting this channel, instead of PayPaling me, I mean, you could PayPal me if you want. Who doesn't want to take money, bro? I want to monetize this. But for those out there that listen to the show, if you want to contribute to the show and feed the machine and help feed me to continue doing this, go to 2mex.bandcamp and buy a record. Fuck it. I'd rather you listen to my music, bro. I know I'm talking, and who doesn't want accept money for things, but at least if you're gonna spend 5, 10 bucks or $10, then go download one of my records on 2mex.bandcamp. I am so confident in my music. I'm so in love with my music, and not only am I in love with my music, but I'm so believing that if you listen to my music, that we'll be connected forever. I'm so in belief of my music, and the thing is that I have so much music, but at the same time, I have 1,000 songs, but at the same time, I know from analytics that I have 20 albums that have sold maybe 5,000 copies. I mean, there's billions of people on Earth. My music, even if it's older, it's it's like untapped. You don't know about it, and you can know about it. So go to 2mex.bandcamp and look through the records, man, and listen to them and buy some shit. PayPal and Bandcamp links are in the video. Are in the video. Oh, thank you, Kelsey Ray. Are in the video description. There you go. So the video, so my PayPal and my Bandcamp are in the description. So support. You know what I mean? Support the machine, man. Thank you, Kelsey Ray. I appreciate you to the fullest. Um. Anyway, a lot of these shows, as you could tell, are very much freestyles. You know what I mean? But anyway, so thank you, Dankster710. I appreciate that, Jason Estrada. Would you ever re-release Welcome to the Afterlife? Um, Probably not. Only in the sense of the when we did that way back then in '99 or whatever. That's a collective thing. So it's like when it comes to posse things like the Afterlife, like the Shapeshifters. I'll give you an example. You know, I'm a shapeshifter. I'm in the Shapeshifters, but I wasn't. When it comes to the Shapeshifters, LAJ or Bleak are in charge of the merch. LAJ is in charge of the shirts and the stuff, and Bleak, as far as like the CDs. So I've had a lot of people hit me up and say, why can't I get the Shapeshifter, 2 or 3 Shapeshifter albums, 3 or 4 Shapeshifter albums? Why can't I get them on your 2mex.bandcamp? And I try to explain to people, when it comes to the Shapeshifters, I'm one of 10 people, 12 people in that group. And there's Shapeshifter albums where I'm not even on them, or I'm pretty much on all the Shapeshifter albums once, because I was kind of like a side member. I actually threw myself in that group. I love those guys so much. I love AWOL Circus, Rob One, Akuma Die, Radio Inactive, LAJ. I love all them so much that I threw myself in that group because they were actually my friends more than me really being in that group. I was always a posse member. So subsequently, I don't monetize. If I'm on a record once, I'm not like gonna snatch the Shapeshifter records and throw them on my thing and monetize it. That's for whoever's more in charge, which I would say Bleak and maybe LAJ. So if you're a Shapeshifter fan and you want digital or hard copies of those records, I think you hit up LAJ or Bleak. But you know what I mean? But I mean, there's random songs I've snatched to put on my posse records. There's a dope Shapeshifter song called Pot Full of Gold that I took and put on my 2Mex and Release hits or whatever. So, I nibble there and dabble there. But anyway, let me see. I think it's time for this coffee. Let me see if it's melted a little bit. Oh. I'm hoping that it's melted a little bit enough for me to just take a sip, wake up and shit. I love it. That'll help. All right, let me put this back and let me get to your questions. fact, let me put this on my lap. Got the Mac with the app and the lack. Okay, let me keep this right here. I've got to create a better drink situation. Hold on. Yeah, because these little McDonald's cardboard things are not gonna cut it. Let me put this drink on the ground because I don't want to fucking cause a problem. Give me a second, people. We definitely have space issues here. Man, I really do have space issues. Anyway, we'll figure that out. I'm gonna put another little table. Have any other questions? Let me see. We have. So yeah, the afterlife. I probably won't put that out because it's a posse thing, and I don't know. I mean, we all have the rights to it. I'm sure if I gathered that record and uploaded it and put it out, nobody would even say anything. But I don't know. That's a good question, man. I'm gonna look into that for you. Thank you for your question. Vic Vegan, Vic Vigi. Man, I don't know how I'm saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. VICVIGNEN. Vivinci per hey. Good morning. Hold on. Good morning, 2Mex. Just wanted to let you know. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. That means the world to me. Look at that. You just brought a smile to my face. Juan Estrada. I love my tape. Yeah, bro. Juan Estrada. Thank you. Thank you, bro, for that question. Yeah, I probably could put it up, but when it comes to posse things and like compilations, uh, uh, you know, it's just like nobody's really in charge of it. So I could do that, man. Maybe proactively. Maybe I'll find that. Maybe if I find a CD or something, I'll I don't, man. Welcome to the afterlife. I'd have to buy the CD on eBay, right? I'd have to find the CD on eBay, buy it, then it comes, then I'll give it to my homie Sully to upload and then sell it just so you could buy it. Because to be honest with you, if I put out Welcome to the Afterlife on 2Mex.bandcamp, you know, maybe 10 people will buy it, which would be cool. I'll take $80, you know what I mean? But anyway, I appreciate your question though. That means a lot to me. Um, the one CD I am looking for is shit. If you want to talk about the rarest CD that I haven't put up on 2Mex.bandcamp, a good 10 years ago, maybe like 12 years ago, I had made a compilation. I was before we did a Grim Image and some of the other record labels I've had in my life. We did this thing called Team 2Mex, like Team 2Mex, and we made a compilation, and it was called Breaking Bread with the City, and it was like a one, and it was like literally a CD that I pressed up. Maybe I pressed up 200 copies. That's it. 200 copies pressed up, and it's called 2Mex, Breaking Bread with the City. And what it was a compilation because I was gonna do a record label called Team 2Mex, and my dream at the time was to create a label. Kind of, who really did the label I wanted to do? Who did it in the right way? Is Chesky Ramos, Fake Four Entertainment. Because it's funny because when I look at the lineup, the, my goal was to make a label where everybody on the label was as dope as Freestyle Fellowship or Organized Confusion. So I had like Mestizo, Henri Osborne, Quell, and Sleep. I mean, you're talking about four of the greatest MCs, which is why, for anybody that knows about the song Airwolf, which is Quell, Sleep, me, Radio, and Active, it's like that was and Mestizo. I got songs with Mestizo. Shout out to Stizo, and that was the shit I was looking for, man. I wanted to make a label of all incredible rappers. We only made a comp. The comp has, dude. The comp has 3 or 4 original songs from me. Maybe some songs that came out on other shit like Bringing Mexi Back and the song I did with Henri Osborne, Bright Lights. And then there's another untitled song that no one's ever heard that's on there, that's why I want to hear it. But I also started putting in the studio. I started putting people together. So there's a song with No Can Do. I believe it's No Can Do, Kale, Clean, and somebody else. And then I had another. I had songs where like people would come into the house to make songs specifically for my shit. I think Isaiah Tooftaker had made a song. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of people that were on that, but 2Mex Breaking Bread with the City. If anybody sees, I think I saw it on eBay for like $3.99. I think I need to buy it and then get it and then put that up. I think that would be a nice little jewel for people that know what's up. You know what I mean? For people that are interested in shit like that. If you're really interested in some cool music, I should freestyle and just wake up. I need to rap. You guys need to PayPal me at 2mex at Gmail or buy something off Bandcamp and then I'll kick some freestyles for you. Anyway, Choco Blitz, dope heads. Hell yeah. Dope heads. Word up, man. So yeah, man. I really like to thank all the 8 people that are in the chat room rolling with me, man. I really appreciate you. You guys are fucking awesome. And anyway, any questions you have, like I said, feel free to ask me any questions. But yeah, I think going back to the original subject of what I was trying to talk about is, I mean, there's people in our lives that like to be treated like shit, and me personally, I'm not one of them. You know, I don't like to be treated like shit. I get treated like shit sometimes. We all do. I get taken advantage of. We all do. I don't like it. You know what I mean? I try to be in control of my universe, but once again, I think when we were younger, you know, when you have feelings of loneliness and isolation, maybe you have some abandonment issues, you know, so it's hard to let go of people that you care about, even if they treat you like shit. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel that. And when I was younger, I remember being in love a lot. Where I remember being in love, and I remember someone not just wanting to be my homie. You know, you're just my homie, and I'm like, I love you, kiss me, and I would be treated, you know, and they'd be like, well, we're just homies, and like, can we just be homies? And I'd be like, yeah, but I'm still gonna come every day. Like one day, I'm gonna win your love. Like it does, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It never did, and it never will. And when I got older, and maybe I learned to love myself more, maybe it was the music, maybe it was the confidence. When I got older and I learned to love myself more, all of a sudden, because it wasn't about attraction or physical appearance, but once I got to love myself more, I went from being that person that was longing for someone to like me, but they only liked me as a friend. I went to being that person that people liked. And then all of a sudden, I had to do that to people where I was like, I only want you as a friend, you know, nothing romantic or relationship wise, you know what I mean? And in fact, like I said, when I was in my 20s, instead of being like that, I was probably like that, but, you know, taking advantage, or you know, more like, you know, I don't know. I don't know, but just that's the way it was, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I think that's the topic for now until I get other questions about hip hop or start rapping. Let's see, we got any other questions here? Let me see what's popping here. Anyway, I want to thank Choco Blitz, everybody that's in the chat room. I appreciate you, man. You guys are cool as fuck. Thank you so much. But yeah, you know, do people like being treated like shit? I don't know. Some people like it. I mean, you've never heard like a dominatrix? Never heard people that like to get spanked? I mean, you never. I was watching some shit on YouTube where this woman who's kind of like a sex worker, right? Like a spa, some chick, she was breaking down her life, where she was like, when I was little, my dad, she's like, when I was little, my dad was physically abusive to me, and then I saw my dad cheat on my mom hundreds of times, and that affected the way she grew up and the way she had relationships with people, and ended up her being like a kind of like a sex worker and like a spa. And she was talking about all these you know, people like getting peed on, and people like all this weird shit. We're not here to get into that shit, but I'm just saying, like, that concept of people just like to be degraded. You know what I mean? You know, shit. If you watch porn nowadays, I don't. Porn is like, it's just so aggressive. You know what I mean? And the thing is this: behind closed doors, when you love somebody and you're in a physical relationship with them, behind closed doors, people are we're freaks, dude. Like, when you love somebody behind closed doors, when you and a mutual partner have agreements, then you treat each other. You love each other, and you have sex, and sometimes it's, whether it's rough or not or whatever you do, you when you have that mutual wanting and that mutual thing, then you can have that, and it's healthy. But other people, when they're lonely and they degrade themselves, or they're self-deprecating. Dude, I'm very self-deprecating in my art when I write. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to touch your hand. I didn't mean to touch your hand. I didn't realize that I was so grotesque. I didn't mean to touch your hand. I didn't realize that I was so grotesque. I really hadn't looked in the mirror in a while. Didn't notice that I was an original style. Thank you. I used to be very self-deprecating, and still maybe to this day. But you know, there's a difference between this mutual thing that you can have with a partner and someone you love, and longing, and putting up with someone treating you like shit. You know, whenever someone asks me for something, and I happily do it, dude. If you know me, bro, I don't have no problem going broke. I will give you the shirt off my back, and many a time I've given someone money and then 3 hours later been short exactly that money that I gave to someone. I'll never forget that. There's been times where like I gave somebody like $20, and then like later in the day I wanted to buy something and I was $20 short, and I was like, I gave I fucking gave that 20 away or whatever, or whatever. Shit, there's times where people fucking, man, I'll never forget, it was 3, 4 in the morning, and I was trying to check into a hotel, and my phone needed to have my debit card needed to have like a certain amount of money on it, and I was like $30 short, and they wouldn't let me check into a hotel, and it was like 4 in the morning, and I was on IG like, yo, somebody PayPal me $30 so I could stay in this hotel. You know what I mean? And someone did. Someone, he was awake, like, what's popping? You need something? And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm fucking 3:30 in the morning. They won't let me check into this hotel. Whatever. So that shit comes and goes. But trying to stick to this topic. I'm sorry, I'm so schizophrenic. It's just the way I am. I have mental issues. But yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know. Do we grow out of that? Do we grow out of being treated like shit? I feel like I try to grow out of it. Do we grow out of it, or do we grow old and continue to be, you know, treated like that? You know what I mean? I don't know. What is your experiences out there? You know what I mean? Am I alone in my stupidness? You know what I mean? Anyway, let's check the room right here. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know. Just know that you can always be in this chat room and ask me questions. And like I said, this is probably the fourth show, so we're building something here at 2Mex TV. There's a lot of videos, music videos, documentaries. I just yesterday I was doing some research, and I'm gonna upload some more videos, and we're gonna do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Whether you like it or not, whether there's 10 people watching it every week, and in 6 months we're gonna build, and in a year we're gonna build, and we're gonna have a wonderful empire where people call in, and we're gonna get to the point where you're gonna be like, talk to someone, and I'm gonna call them, and we're gonna have conversations, and shit. I'm gonna talk to you, you know. But anyway, so I guess we'll get off the subject of whether people do want to be taken advantage of. You know what I mean? Or I guess my verdict is it's sad. It's sad when I see my friends being taken advantage of, and I tried to help them, but then I learned to just get to not be in their business, because A, it's none of my business, and B, some people like being treated like that. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way that it is and the way that it'll be. And when we love somebody, so whether we're lonely or not, sometimes you love somebody so much, and you want to be a part of their life so much, but they're it's just not in the cards for whatever reasons, you know. And we gotta accept that and create our own universe of love and people. It's so weird to be me personally from a personal experience as being Alex, being 2Mex. I dealt with for years a weird kind of depression where I was like, damn, man, I got fans. People like me. People like send me love. Why am I lonely? Have you ever heard that song? You ever heard that song by the Smiths? I know it's over. If you're so clever, then why do you sleep alone at night? If you're so very entertaining, then why do you sleep alone at night? If you're so very good looking, then why do you sleep alone at night? I know, because tonight is just like any other night. That's why you're on your own tonight. With your triumphs and your charms. Oh, they're in each other's arms. It's so easy to laugh, it's so easy to hate. It takes strength to be gentle and kind. Over and over and over and over. It's so easy to laugh. Anyway, sorry. Got into my little Smith. But yeah, that song really makes a lot of sense. If you're so clever, then why are you on your own tonight? Like, I used to kind of go through that. I used to be like, man, I used to go do a show where hundreds of people would be just wanting to talk to me, be around me. People want to touch me, man. I would have girls trying to hug me and all that shit. And yeah, and all that shit. Go home, go to sleep alone, and have this weird sense of loneliness. Like was that real? That 3 hours ago, I was in the middle of 100 people, the center of attention, and then now you're like by yourself. I mean, it's just I don't know. We deal with that. You know what I mean? I think in like I said, when it comes to the social media, I think I feel bad for women because it's such a drug. Social media is such a drug for women right now, where it's like they look cute, they take a picture, and then it's like hundreds of men hitting on them, and it's like this instant gratification. But is it real? You know? Have you guys ever heard of that rapper Watsky? Anybody ever heard of that rapper Watsky? He has a cool song called Pink Lemonade. How do you make pink lemonade? Pink lemons. How do you make pink lemonade? Is it real? They only want it if it's real. It's a dope ass song. You should check that out. Yeah, man. But so yeah, that kind of shit is like, that's the kind of shit that I think about on a morning like today. You know what I mean? I 10 minutes before the podcast started, I was just having a conversation where somebody important to me was telling me that that their brother takes advantage of their parents and how you hate it. And I was just like, ultimately, you can bring it up, but as far as like you wanting to see that justice, it's not gonna happen because the relationship between your mom and your brother is your mom's. He's never gonna do wrong in her eyes, and he's gonna take advantage, and it's just what it is, and that's how it is. Sometimes we see the people that we love and care for being taken advantage of, and we can't do shit about it because sometimes you're just gonna end up being the bad guy. You know what I mean? Other than that, shit. Those are the kind of things that I think about when I wake up. When we do this show, and we're gonna, like I said, we do the show every day, 9 a.m. You know, that just happened to be whatever topic, whatever's on my mind. Wrestling and shit. Anybody watch wrestling last night? I watched wrestling last night. That was kind of cool. I fell asleep though, but I got to see some wrestling. Also, too, Lakers playing tonight. That's another thing. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but we're gonna get to the point where I just gotta still figure shit out, technical. But cause I'm not the most technically savvy. Ugh, why am I still asleep? Let me drink some more of this fucking McDonald's coffee, bro. Hold on a second. Fuck McDonald's, by the way, but hold on a second. I need this coffee in my life. Excuse me. Sorry, man. I've become in the last month. Since COVID hit, in fact, yesterday I went to the supermarket. I gotta stop ordering Postmates twice a day. I'm going broke. So yesterday I actually went and bought groceries. But for like since COVID hit, I literally every morning when I wake up just order some McDonald's coffees because they're like $1. But I think I'm becoming addicted to caffeine. But it's another story. But anything you want to ask me about me, man, or my life, feel free to hit me. Hold on a second. I'm about to get back. Hold on. Ah, that's the good shit right there. Anyway, let me put this back. How do you make pink lemonade? Anyway, I'm going to get to the point where I'm just going to go on here and do concerts and shit. You still fighting with that Mexican supermarket, bro? Oh, yeah. Damn, you remember that? You remember that? That's funny, man. I used to fight with that's a Cardenas. Cardenas. That was in San Bernardino. Damn, you're a real fan, bro. You're a real motherfucking head, bro. You remember when I used to wake up and Instagram live me walking across the street? I lived across the street from Cardenas, and I used to always fight with them because they would treat me like shit. The paisas checkout girls. They like the person in front of me would be everybody at Cardenas is Mexican, so they'd be like, "Buenas noches, buenas tardes, cómo está, señora?" This and that, this and that, and then I'd be like, and then I'd be next and be like, "Good morning." I'd be like, "I'm Mexican, fool. Talk to me in Spanish," and they would just treat me like a pocho and shit. Damn, you remember that? You're funny, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. I got love for you, man. Vic Vaughn says, would be awesome to hear you with a live band and instruments. Yeah, bro. I've always fucked with live bands all the time. Shit, I used to be lucky, man. I used to rock with Osamotley and a lot of dudes. Sugar free vanilla. Mickey D's iced coffee is bomb. I'm gonna try that sugar free one. This is a vanilla, French vanilla. Yesterday I ordered two of them. Since they're only $1, I ordered two large ones and then I just put one in the freezer. And you know how it was hot these last 3 or 4 days, like really hot? I was buying them two at a time. So that way I'd drink one or I'd put them both in the freezer and then just pull them out. And then since it was so hot, it would just melt in my room while I smoked weed and chilled and shit. You know what I mean? Anyways, but yeah, man. So yeah, what else has been on my mind? This has really been one of the main things on my mind, just getting this up and going. And I still, because of my vision issues, I gotta learn. But luckily, the homie Kill Sea Rays in San Diego, looking out, and the platform collection people are there. Also, too, this station is really really small, so I'm just gonna get into it now. But we're not really in the position yet. But at some point, I will be taking advertisers, and I will be doing advertisements. I will be like taking sponsorships. You know what I mean? Right now we're in a place where you're literally the first week of the show ever. You know what I mean? So it's like 10 people. I think they're averaging already just a couple hundred downloads, which is fucking amazing. And we're gonna build and build and build. But yeah, at some point I will be getting advertisers and doing different things and working with people. But anyway, man, what else do we talk about, man? Because my interests are about wrestling, football, hip hop, rapping. Uh, fuck, dude. What else? I'll take the second to remind you guys to support. I have two T-shirts that I think Friday. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, Friday will be the cutoff date, Friday or Saturday. So if you want the new 2Mex over-the-counter culture T-shirt or a new of Mexican descent shirt, go to Chula Clothing on IG. They've got it. I've got these COVID masks that my homies from Worldwide Medias do. You can check that out on IG. And 2mex.bandcamp. I mean, that's where my music's at, man. That's what really the focus of this shit is I'm gonna be coming on here in the morning and just doing concerts. Should I just rap? Should I just rap songs for you? I don't know. This is so new, bro. This is the Wild West. We're creating something here. You know what I mean? I feel you though, Jason Sandoval. Mickey D's has got me kind of cracked out. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? Vic Vaughn conspiracy theories. All right, there you go. Wait to recharge me back up. Conspiracy theories. Fuck. What? I mean, my main thing about what I think is happening in the world is that I think that what's happening is I have two words for you: population control. I think that there's nothing more important than those two words. You know what I mean? Population control. I really believe that the powers that be, after doing analytics, they realize that, and the powers that be are older white people that are what you consider pure white or whatever. They understand that white people suffer from zero population. Now, what I mean by zero population is, I'm gonna give you an example. As an example, let's say black people, right? So let's say this is just hypothetically. So every day, if 100 black people die of anything, of old age, sickness, being killed, whatever, if 100 black people die every day, 300 black people are born. With, let's say, generalizing with Latinos, if 100 Latinos die every day, 260 Latinos are born. With white people, if 100 white people die, 100 white people are born. So they're canceling each other out. It's called zero population. So as time goes on, they're not you know populating. So they feel, not white people in general, like it's just white people, but the powers that be feel like the only way that their race is gonna maintain is to destroy 80% of the world and repopulate, turn 8 billion people into 500 million and restart again. But the other conspiracy thing it's not even a conspiracy, bro. It's realer than real. Is the fact that we are entering the age of cybernetics. We are here. We are in. Think about it. Think about think about our phone. Look how much I've been holding my phone all day. Our right now, just to read these things. Our phone is an extension of. We are in a cyber world. We are in the matrix already. We are literally just soul pods. Our energy. All we have left is our soul. The only thing that's why this is a fight for our soul. That's why I'm not even. Look at me, bro. I've lost a leg. My body's fucking falling apart. My body is betraying me. My body could die from this kidney failure, this heart failure. I literally, this could, and I'm not being weird. Please don't think I'm being sympathetic or like asking for your sympathy, but we all could die tomorrow. We all could die in an hour. But I'm on more of a faster track to die. But anyway, but my point is, this body is our shell. Our soul is the only thing that matters, and this war out here is a war for our soul, and so I definitely believe that we are in the age of cybernetics, and we're already, whether you want to believe it, whether you want to wrap your mind around it, we're already in the matrix, and we're already literally ready to lay down into these pods and upload ourselves, because that's really the next step. So things like money, things like material possessions, things like all that shit have no value to me. The only value I have, the only thing that's valuable to me is what I do with the time that I have left in my life. And that's, to me, is wanting to build with family, wanting to build with friends, wanting to build relationships, wanting to be loved, wanting to have intelligent conversation, wanting to be around people only that are caring, people that are supportive, people that are loving. And for me, with the time I have left in my life, that's what I want to do. I just want to be around. I want to talk to people that are loving. I want to be around people that care. I want to build, and just like everybody else, I want, I want to be loved, and I want to be listened to, and I want to help. I want to try to help anybody I can. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I don't know if every single mistake in my life, if I have the time to correct it or the resources, but I know that what I can do is, with the time that I have left, is help. You know what I mean? And so that's why, I'm here to help you, man. You have any problems, you have any things that we could talk about, I'm here for you. Let's see what we got here. Oh, man, let's see. Choco Blitz. Do it, bro. We're talking about rapping? Juan Estrada. I'm feeling the freestyle blog. Word up, Choco Blitz. Let's see. It says Bill Gates owns a company named ID 2020. I'll look into it. Luna from OG Foods to you. Why do you name your new album Operation? Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to answer that. Why did I name my new album Operation Dark Winter December? Because the actual album, that's funny, the night before that album came out, I'll tell you a little story about that album. So, yeah, and by the way, thank you for even mentioning that. You're awesome, Luna. So the last album that I put out, it's called Operation Dark Winter December. It's exclusively on 2Mex Bandcamp. It's a fucking amazing album. It's literally done in the style of Jedi Mind Tricks, nonfiction, Psycho Realm. It's the pace of the album it's all produced by producers from Boston. It's got it's got Gore-Tex from Nonfiction. It's got Reef the Lost Cause from Army of the Pharaoh, Diabolic. It's got a very aggressive nature. The group was myself and my homie Anu 322. This record literally is 5 to 6 years old, but yet it sounds brand new. It's banging as fuck. It's really my boy Anu 322's baby. He at 6 years ago came at me and was like, "Can I pay you to make an album with me, like little by little, like 3 songs here, 3 songs there?" I say, "Sure." So over the course of a year or two, we made this album, and it was just banging, man, banging. And then he kind of just let it, he was always like mixing it and all this shit, and he never like put it out. And when I was in the hospital last year and this year, the doctors told me, "You're gonna die in 5 days" and all this shit. Fuck them. But yeah, it made me be like, man, I want all my records to come out. So that's why in a couple weeks I'm putting out my ghostwriting songs for God and all this shit. But that record, I was stressing them like, "Yo, mix it, put it out. I'll pay you. I'll pay to mix it. Like, who do I have to pay? Like, what do we have to do?" And finally, I was like, "I'll pay and we'll mix it and get it mastered and all that." And we put it out. But the group it's Anu and myself, and the group was called Children of a Lesser Fraud. That was like the name of the group we had. The night before, as I was uploading the record, as we were putting it to Bandcamp, I changed the title to Operation Dark Winter December, because Operation Dark Winter is basically, if you look it up on YouTube, Operation Dark Winter, it's basically what's happening right now with the COVID. They did this whole thing that they're doing with the COVID, they did it for 6 days in 2002, and they called it Operation Dark Winter. And in Oklahoma, they let out a virus for 6 days, and they monitored, but it was different because they were in complete control of it, and they monitored it for 6 days, and they saw it spread, and they did fucking data, and then boom, they killed it. And they just wanted to see in 6 days how much damage it could do. And because of research like that, that's partly one of the reasons why they let this COVID out now. Like they had to, these are military operations, you know what I mean? So at the last second, I named the record Operation Dark Winter December because the night before the record came out, I was watching MSNBC. I watch a lot of politics bullshit. I watch independent shit like The Hill and the Young Turks and all that shit. And I also watch MSNBC, CNN, and Fox. I like to get all the perspective. I love seeing one story. I love seeing a news story and then watching five different networks on the same story because you see all the differences. You see Fox do it the way they do it. You see MSNBC do it the way they do it. You see the Young Turks. Anyway, literally because I know about Operation Dark Winter December, and I saw, and I had mentioned it in a song. I had actually mentioned it in Sweat Lodge Infinite way back in the day. I forgot to remember about Operation Dark Winter December. Seconds ago, it was decided we are in the middle of forever. In case you don't know about that song, it's a dope song. Indian casino, win within the encino, fear the flood of the deer's blood, handcuff buffalo, puff puff and blow yourself a new cloud below the wealth. Are you proud? Plowed, paraded, planted, patented in Manhattan, 9/11. Maybe God rolled a J and needed a light. Baby, that's just what happens in the heat of the night. Sage is the new oxygen. The rage of the blue hawk begins. Half holy dirt, half robot. Life only works when you laugh a lot. I forgot to remember about Operation Dark Winter December. Seconds ago, it was decided that we are in the middle of forever. I wrote that in 2005. So that was 15 years ago. So I had learned about Operation Dark Winter by 2005 and I wrote about it. So, and then I was actually seeing what the COVID did. It was like, this is Operation Dark Winter. And the night before I put out that record, I was watching MSNBC, and the guy was looked right in the camera, almost like he was talking in code. And the guy looked right in the camera, and he goes, "If these COVID deaths, if we don't do anything about social distancing and this and that and this and that and this and that," he goes, and he looked dead in the camera, and he goes, "I'm afraid, I'm afraid for America. I'm afraid it's gonna be a dark winter this December." And he just looked at the camera and said, "It's gonna be a dark winter this December." And I was like, "Damn!" He just said dark winter December, and he looked at, and it just all. So at the last second, literally at 11 o'clock, I was dropping the album at midnight. At 11 o'clock, I changed the title to Operation Dark Winter December, in hope that somebody would correlate that and understand that. So thank you for that question. That means a lot. Thank you. And if you please go to bandcamp.com and buy Operation Dark Winter December. It's honestly one of my top three bangingest albums I've ever put out. I mean, I'm a big fan of nonfiction. I like Jedi Mind Tricks. I love Psycho Realm. And it's a record like that, made in that form. Just very energetic, very fucking upbeat, very East Coasty. It's very Boston. It's very like 7L and esoteric, if you know that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So thank you for that question. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. See, this is what I'm saying. I build off of your shit. Anyway, let's see. Thank you for that. Vic Vaughn. Yeah, that is so true. David Icke. Yeah, I mean, dude, when I was 21, I used to go to the Hilton at the airport because I lived on Slauson and La Brea. So the airport Hilton was 5 minutes away from my house. I used to go to the airport Hilton and I would pay $45 to see David Icke speak about reptilians and all that shit. And I was, I wasn't completely sold on it or fascinated. I was fascinated by it at the time. And it wasn't like I was completely sold on the concept, but I definitely been. You're talking to somebody that read Behold the Pale Horrors. I read Behold the Pale Horrors, Holy Blood, Holy Grail, all these things. I read all these things when I was 17, 18. So, I got in early. Um, Rest in peace to my best friend Memo, who died in my arms. His brother Beanie was in jail I remember when I was 16, 17, and his brother got out of jail, and this fool handed me when he got out of jail. This fool handed me a VHS. That's how old I am. This fool handed me a VHS of Bill Cooper, the author of Holy Blood, Holy Grail. I mean, Holy Blood, Holy Grail. Behold the Pale Horse. I'm sorry. Behold the Pale Horse. He handed me a videotape, and it was like so. You know when you, if anybody knows about videotapes, you know when you dub over them, the it gets degenerated. You know, like the more times you dub over a tape, the more scratchier and like fucked up it comes out. This video on VHS, it felt like it had been dubbed like 50 times because it was so crackly and like fucked up. And it was like William Cooper at a school talking and breaking it down with like a chart and shit. And I kind of like got obsessed with that, you know? Plus, I had just left the Catholic Church. I had a really bad experience with, I was really, if anybody knows, I always talk about I was a church kid. I was a little church boy. I used to go to church at sometimes 6 days a week. First communion, catechism. I worked for the church. I used to clean the brother's house. I used to help sell pan dulce at church. I used to do all that shit. I had a bad experience with the church, so then I was more open and susceptible to alternative information. So yeah, I would go see David Icke at the hotel thing when I was younger, bro, just by myself and shit, you know. Can you get Sam Tripoli on here? Yeah, I probably can. I know Sam's on fire right now. That'd be dope. Yeah, you know what? Once again, I think it all has to do with me learning how to use the Zoom and all this shit. That's a great idea. I just saw a thing with Sam where he was not really defending Chris D'Elia, the comedian, from him getting like Me Too'd and people, all this stuff. But he was making a point about where he was like, you know, he's like, I'm talking about child trafficking and this and that and this and that and this and that, and you guys are over here. He was like, if it turns out that Chris D'Elia's the comedian who's been getting accused of like hollering at 17-year-old girls or whatever, and they were like, if it turns out that it's true, then he gets what he deserves and he's gonna have to pay. But at the same time, he's like, I'm talking about pedophilia rings and sex trafficking rings, and I read into all that stuff too, man. In my experience as a person, in my experience growing up, um I've met people in my life. Um, Once again, I can't divulge their names on some Hollywood star shit because I don't want to be talking about, like, I don't want to be tagged on that bullshit. But there was a time where some of these stars, they're not big stars anymore, but let's say stars on a level of like some of these Hollywood people that had shows on TV, and we would interact with them, and they were damaged, man. They would just tell us some fucked up shit. I personally knew a girl, this white girl that I know, beautiful chick, but dude, she was kind of messed up on drugs. Like caught up, very strung out and caught up. And I'd have conversations with her and be like, man, I hope you get better. What can we do to get better? Like, maybe your parents should put you in a rehab or yada yada yada. And she'd be like, my dad is the issue. And I was like, why? He molested you and shit? And she just looked at me and she's like, he didn't molest me. She's like, but he sold me to people. And I was like, what? And she looked at me and she goes, and this chick was rich, white chick from Beverly Hills. And she was like, my dad, she just straight looked at me and goes, my dad sells children. And I was like, what? And at that time I couldn't wrap my mind around that concept. And she was like, my dad sells children. And she's like, fuck him. And she was like, yeah, we have money, and he tries to give me money every once in a while, but fuck him. And I felt bad for her, man. That was one of the first times that I personally, this wasn't on the internet, this isn't on YouTube, this isn't on conspiracy theory televisions, watching shit. This is just a person telling me that. And as I travel the world and as I got to know people, I'm a people person. Obviously, you could tell I have no problem talking for 2 or 3 hours a day, just bullshit off the top of my mind. Like, I'm a fucking talker. My mind is racing. I will talk your fucking ear off. So I have no problem talking. Anyway, to hear that, and as I got older and I know people, to hear them like tell me these things, and as I've gotten older, I realized that that's when I realized that most women. That's why I really don't try to come at women sexually like I used to when I was younger, because as I got older, I realized that a lot of women are damaged. I honestly believe in the bottom of my heart that eight out of every 10 women that I've ever met in my life have either been sexually, physically, mentally abused, raped, molested, or people have attempted to do that to them. You know, so like I really believe I had to grow to believe that. And then sometimes when I think about some of my dysfunctional relationships that I had in my life and why, I remember dating a woman like 2009, 2008. Oh man, I forgot her name too. She was so awesome. She was from Colombia, and yeah, 2008. Yeah, 2008, 2007, 2008. And I was so into this woman. She was like Colombian. She was so gorgeous, personality amazing, just great, cool ass just intelligent, and I was all over her, man, trying to get at her and just, can I come see you? Can I see you Friday? Can I see you? And dated a little bit, and but we couldn't get close, and it wasn't like sexually close. It was just there was just always a wall there, always a wall there. And I remember her roommate telling me like, you have to shave. Yeah, at the time I was like, she was like, if you're not clean shaven, this and that, this and that. It's a weird as are these weird ass rules that her homegirl would tell me, and her homegirl basically told me, you're a good guy. No matter what you do though, you're not gonna get. She's not gonna go for you. And then she's like, and it's nothing about you. She was like, she just has a wall. And I remember me trying. I mean, maybe we kissed or whatever, but like I was really like, man, be my girl. Like let's build the other shit. And she was like, I remember anybody that knows me even as a friend, whether I'm in a relationship with you or romantic or just friend, I love sending people music. Music is the secret code to life, right? So, you know, you send your friends music, like check this shit out, it's dope. But when you're like in a romantic relationship with someone, you send them music because the song says expresses how you can't, when you send someone a song and it says I love you, you're telling them I love you. When it says I'll take care of you, I'll always stand by your side. And I remember she sent me this song by one of my favorite. She knew my favorite artist was Fiona Apple, and she sent me a song, one of the Fiona Apple songs called "To Your Love." Please forgive me for my distance. Shame has manifested my resistance. Please forgive me for my distance. Shame has manifested my resistance to your love, to your love. And that song's about, and she would always, it's like always like arm's length, you know. It's like, I'm sorry for being distant. She's just trying to tell me like there's a wall, and it's like, and I remember just being like, and she was just like, I like you, but let's just be friends. And I think that's all we'll ever be. She's like, I can't be close to anybody. And instead, and for a while, I'm like, why? I'm different. I'm different. I'm the guy. Well, why? It wasn't me. It's that's how the wall. Now, did I get an answer to my question years later? Yeah. I remember years later, we kind of fell out. I remember telling her, I'm gonna be your homie. She was like, are you gonna be my friend even though I don't wanna fuck or don't wanna be romantic? And I was like, yeah, I'm always gonna be your friend. Fuck that. I'm not. I'm not gonna not be your friend because we weren't having a sexual relationship. So I was like, and I was like, watch, I'll see you 5 years from now. I'll see you 10 years from now. I'm still gonna be your homie. Like we're good. We're homies. Like you set the guideline. We're cool. We're friends forever. I'm not tripping. And I remember years later, we didn't really continue to be super close, but I remember years later, we ran into each other again and had a conversation. And once again, when years later go by, and we were having a conversation, and she was like, I just want to tell you, I want to thank you because, it's X amount of years later, you're still here for me. You're a good dude. You always were a good dude. And then she goes, I just want to tell you, you know, I didn't want to get with you because, you know, all my life, and I understood, she was a beautiful, beautiful woman, voluptuous. I mean, just she looked like Jessica Rabbit, bro. And she was just like, my whole life, since I was 3 years old, everybody's been trying to touch me, and everybody's been trying to kidnap me, and everybody's been trying to own me. And she said, own me. And she was like, everybody, dudes just stalk me. And I've had to change my phone number, and I've had to change my job. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. And going back to another relationship that was more recent than that one, same thing. I remember once again, I dated someone, and that was, I considered them to be very attractive. And it was just like, every day it was like, dudes are at my job, like sweating me, and my manager, this is the third job in 4 years that I have to quit because my manager's in love with me and he won't leave me alone. And dudes in the street, I can't go to the fucking liquor store without somebody fucking, and only through all these stories from homegirls, from people that I was in relationships with, only through all those things that I slowly build an understanding of that's what it's like to be a woman, and as a man, you have to have that level of respect, and sometimes that wall, it isn't about it isn't about you. It's that wall, and unfortunately, maybe you miss out, or maybe you don't, but there's a I said that the other day when Kill C Ray and the homies were here. Someone told me you don't really lose your girl, you just lose your turn. And I stick to that. You never really lose your girl, you just lose your turn. If God gives you, if you want to be with somebody in a loving, romantic way, and God gives you that opportunity, God actually gave that to you. Like, you're like, oh man, this person, I love them, I want to be around them, I want to be with them. And God actually opened that blessing and gave that to you, and then you fuck it up, then you deserve to not have it anymore, you know? And once again, I think it's just, there's so much pressure on the female species. I don't know if it's because they're the givers of life and they procreate, or just because, I don't know if it's the sexual urge or what it is, but it's just, women have it really tough. And, I feel for them and shit. And throughout my life, I've experienced these things on so many levels, from wanting and pining for someone to being on the other side to just being a friend, Anyway, thank you for that. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see what's going on here. He said, yeah, man. Let's see. What's the next question? Can you get Sam Tripoli? Yeah, I'll work on that for you, bro. It's a dope album. Hell yeah, my album's dope, bro. Operation Dark Winter, December, man. It says, what's the word with Pyramid City? That's the album with me and Sick Jackin. Where we stand today, we're still in a confusement level. Me and Jackin for 2.5 years, we're trying to make a record. We have a group called Pyramid City. We've recorded 3 or 4 demos that are really dope. I mean, they're dope. And then and at the same time, Jack, me and Jack's been coming over here, and we've been hitting the DMT and building like brothers, man. I've had some conversations with Jack. I've had conversations with Sick Jackin. I've known Sick Jackin since I was 18 years old, 17, 18. I've had some conversations with Sick Jackin this year where he's always been my brother, but the conversations I've had with them this year have really been enlightening, and basically we talked and we were like, we don't want to give people were expecting with me and him being in a group together, people want to hear a whole album of 2Mex over Psycho Round Beats or Doctor's Drums in Danger, the album. It's not going to be that. We're looking for something deeper and better. So, where we stand now is we were talking about going to Palm Springs for a week or two with the band and just going and getting away and recording it. So I think we're working on that. We're going to work on that. I need to figure that out. Also, to a homie of mine named Lewis, he invested in that record, and dude, it's been years. So there's a part of me that's like, man, let me manifest some money and pay back the record advance for that, or really get on this record and hurry up. So those are the kind of things that weigh in my mind. But dude, there's a couple great fucking songs. Oh man, oh my god, there's a fucking oh my god, there's a fucking me and Sick Jackin together, bro. There's something so awesome when we get together, bro. That's all I can tell you. Hopefully 2021 that record will finally see light. It said Luna from OG Foods. It says thoughts on digital currency. I'm actually really getting into digital currency. Lewis C, what's up with producer Joe? Okay, let's do first things first. Digital currency. I'm actually studying that right now. I've besides watching a documentary on Bitcoin, I'm learning about blockchain right now. And like I had said yesterday, my boy Craig from Grim Image Records, my boy AWOL One from the Shapeshifters, and myself are starting a new company called Utopia. It's a digital trading card company. We're into digital trading cards, and we're creating a line of digital. We're gonna create trading cards called the Secret Saviors of Underground Hip Hop, and it's gonna be like cartoons of all the dopest underground rappers, like trading cards that you could trade. So we're working on that. So I'm kind of getting into digital money. I know that paper money, fiat money, has no worth. I know that the government has been printing up money for 17 to 27 years that have no gold behind them. So the day's gonna come. We're stepping into the digital world where digital currency through because of D-Ski and Craig and different people in my life. D-Ski's got me doing this thing called Pi. I don't know if you guys know about this thing called Pi, where like every day you just log. It's an app. And you just press 3 buttons. You log into Pi, just press a button, then you press like 2 more buttons to prove that you're not a robot, and you're digital mine. You're like Bitcoin mining, and every day you just press 3 buttons, and it shows you every day like you've made some cents or whatever. D-Ski's been doing it every day for 3 months, and he's already had $1,000 in Bitcoin. I've been doing it for about 3 weeks, and I don't know what I mean. Every day I see that my rate goes higher, but I just don't know what I don't know what that is equivalent. But I'm just gonna keep doing it because it doesn't. It's free. It doesn't drain your battery or nothing like that, and yeah, I mean, Disky's like, yo, keep doing it, bro. Like, just keep mining it for a year, and then maybe you take the money out or you turn it into Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm learning about digital currency right now because that's where I'm gonna. When it comes to the trading card company that we're gonna have, we're gonna be exclusively only Bitcoin, only Wax, only Ethereum, only digital currency because that's just the way we're gonna do it. So I'm looking into that. I'm also looking into like the way this podcast is on YouTube and on Twitch. I've been reading education that's like, why do that? I mean, there's people that take their podcasts and they don't even use YouTube or Twitch or any platform because they're like, you're still to this day creating something using your own intellectual property and then giving it to another entity like YouTube, and then they're gonna give you 10% of what you actually the traffic that you drive and the power that you create. You're only gonna get 10% of it, just like a record deal. So there's actually people that are like make their own podcast and just sell it to you for 10 cents or 50 cents, and dude, they can make millions. It's fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like they don't. I think we're stepping into a digital world where like you don't need anything but yourself, but it's just got to figure out how to set those platforms up for yourself. So I'm learning, man. There's a lot to learn. Honestly, it's really unfortunate that that this diabetes has my vision kind of fucked up. Cause dude, I love to read. I love to learn. I find myself now listening to books on tape. Shit, even when I watch a basketball game, I just listen to it. Like back in the day when you would listen to a Dodger game on the consola or a Raider game, whatever. And it's unfortunate that right now I'm having issues with my eyesight because I'd love to read, and it's becoming even more difficult to learn about these things. I can't even see. I have a big screen TV in front of me, and I see myself, and I can't see any of you guys. That's why I keep looking at my phone like a little bitch, because that's the only way I can read your messages. But anyway, that's my feelings on that right now. What's up with producer Joe from Anacon? I don't know. I haven't seen Joe, and the last time I saw Joe, I made that song with him back in the day. That really dope song, "Die Partisan," "Do It Yourself Together." That's just shit. But other than that, I never really had too much of a relationship with Joe, other than being a fan and very occasionally saying hello. Um, the last time I saw Joe was when Alias from Anticon had passed away. Rest in peace to that brother. I like Alias because I heard he socked Merce once. That's why I like Alias, and he was always cool with me. Anyway, fucking when he passed away though, I heard that they had a benefit show for him in L.A. and I was living in San Bernardino, and in fact, my stupid ass, I tried to creep up at the. I was like, fuck it, I'll pull up to the show late, like 11:30, 12. By the time I rolled up to the show, it was over. I didn't realize it was an early show. So when I got to the show, they wouldn't let me in. The show was over. Security were being dicks to me. And then, of course, me being a professional breaker into a venues, I was like, fuck you. I went around. And then I saw Joe, and Joe let me in. He's like, the show's over, but he's like, come in. And I went there. They still had merch. And I just, I pulled out a couple $100. And I was like, here, I want to support, if this money goes to his family or whatever. Got a couple records, a couple T-shirts and shit. And yeah, so last time I saw Joe, man, but it was under those kind of circumstances. I saw Mestizo too, and some of the Anacon people who back in the day I had beef with, but we're cool. We're grown up. And yeah, we were at a bar, had a couple of drinks. They were reminiscing about their fallen brother, and I came to pay my respect. So that's the last time I seen Joe, bro. I don't really like talk to him like that, but he's a good dude. Um, San Jason digital trading cards. Yeah, man, it's dope. There's this thing called blockchain heroes, and basically they're digital trading cards. They're like cards, but they're 3D. They're beautiful, man. Um, there's Tops. Everybody knows about Tops baseball cards. They did a limited edition garbage pail kid thing, dude. It's crazy, bro. So I got an account with Wax, which is like Bitcoin, and my homie Craig threw $100 in there for me because I don't know how to even change money into Bitcoin. And I bought $100 worth of these blockchain hero cards. My card collection is already worth 2,700. I was like, damn, that's crazy. I spent 100 and it's worth 2,700. And but anyway, just on some geeky shit. I'm a toy collector, I like nerd shit. And I was telling him, my boy Craig, I was like, we should start our own card company, the Secret Saviors of Underground Hip Hop. Then we can get AWOL, who's a, excuse me, animator, illustrator to do the shit. You know what I mean? And so we've got AWOL on board, and now we're in the process of creating the first series of cards right now. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take months, and once AWOL draws all the cards and I'll write the back, and then we get the template to make them all pretty in 3D. Then we'll figure out how we're gonna put them out, and then yeah, learn. So that's where I'm at. But it's unfortunate that I'm having issues with my eyes, but whatever, man. As long as I'm alive, I'm gonna keep trying. Um, Abstract Soul. Let's talk about MK Ultra. When can we can go down major a rabbit hole there? MK Ultra, yeah. I mean, shit. You know I'm about that, man. I put out a shirt called MK Ultra. You know what I mean? I actually still have. That's like the last shirt that I actually still have here in the house. I made a shirt called MK Ultra, and yeah, man. that shit is real. I mean, mind control is real. We exist in it. We have existed in it forever. People that speak the truth tellers. It's a known entity that the more you expose the government and evil entities, the more that they're gonna deem you crazy. Now, there's a lot of people that try to expose these underbelly of satanic things and these evils and shit. And what the government does is they're like, okay, we'll kill you. We'll either just kill you, or if you're too valuable and too high profile to kill you, we'll discredit you by calling you crazy, shit, by calling you a pedophile. They start doing that to people all the time. Julian Assange, all these people, man, they'll just be like, they bring something up from your past. They pay people. They'll find somebody that you were in a relationship with that's desperate for money, and bring out the past, and this MK Ultra is real. My control is real. I mean, we're under it every day, from YouTube to Instagram to conditioning to television. That's why the powers that be are scared of these new platforms, of people like myself and all of us expressing ourselves and wanting what we want. We're in a battle for our soul to want what we want. Like, this is alternative television. There was a time when there was only CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox, UPN, whatever, KTLA, whatever, and that's all you had. Cable gave you 800 channels, but even those 800 people don't care. They want real people. They want real things that they can relate to. And that's why these entities and this information, that's why there's people that have been, this podcast has been on for almost 2 hours. And there's people that are on it for that too. ¿Cómo estás, mom? And there's people that have been on following for hours. You know how important, how valuable your time is to the 10 people that are in here talking to me. Do you know how valuable that chunk of life is? And so that's the soul, So there's people fighting for your soul. I'm blessed that you would take the time to talk to me about things, and and exchange ideas, because you won't find these ideas on network TV. They're just gonna sell you things, And yeah, my mom's here. ¿Cómo estás, mom? ¿Nomás viniste tú? Oh, okay. So my mom's here to take me to dialysis, and she always comes here. She's so sweet. She comes here like with my dad sometimes. My mom's like in her 70s, and they come to clean, and like they think that I need help cleaning, so then they help clean the house, and then my mom takes me to dialysis. I go to dialysis Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So today I haven't been since Saturday, so I've probably gained a lot of weight since then. So hopefully I'm gonna go to dialysis. But anyway, my mom being here maybe kind of means that maybe I should go now. But dude, I talk a lot. This shit started at 9. What time is it? Yeah, dude, it's 10:53. It's crazy how we can go. So how should we end the show? Let me take one more message. Let me take one more message, and then we're out of here. Do you make beats? I used to make beats. I used to make beats. I don't really make them anymore, but I used to I never really own my own equipment, so I was always like borrowing other people's equipment, and I never wanted to break other people's equipment, But let me show my mom what this looks like. Mira, mom, ven. ¿A dónde? Yo no dejé a- a- ¿Hay hormigas en la basura? ¿En el sink? Oh. Apenas tiene como 10 minutos. O no, como 2 horas. Que la chingada. There's ants. Ok, mamá. Entonces no vengas. Allí, limpia eso. Anyway, my mom's got to clean up these ants now. So I wanted to show her something. But can you mention the lost album you made with Elemento? Okay, that would be my last question. Yeah, man. So a good 10 years back, me and Elemento made an album in one day. It was called Humble is a Style. Dope album. 10 songs. We did it in one day. I remember showing up to LD Studio at like 11 in the morning, and 12 hours later, we had 10 songs done. In fact, we would have made more songs, but my voice started going away, smoking up blunts all day with this fool and rapping. But unfortunately, that record is gone. It's lost forever. It was on somebody's hard drive and it crashed. I think it was LD's hard drive and it crashed. And I had it on a CD, but I don't have it anymore. The only thing, which sucks, man, because that's like 10 songs with Elemental. But the only thing that survived is one song. There's one song. It's called "The Moon Is On," and I think it's either on the Cartoon Boyfriend album on 2Mex Bandcamp, or it's on one of the Sound Hoarder albums on 2Mex Bandcamp. So, if you look on 2Mex Bandcamp, um, you'll see that one song. It's called "The Moon Is On," and that's the only song that survived. It sucks, dude. It was produced by LD, J Rock, and man, there were some dope songs on there. You know what I mean? So yeah. But anyway, I was gonna freestyle out of here, but my mom's here, so now I'm embarrassed. So maybe tomorrow I'll start the show with the freestyle, so that I won't be embarrassed freestyling in front of my mom. I'm just playing with y'all. But I guess I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I want to thank you guys for rolling with me for an hour and a half. The 13 people in the chat room, I appreciate you to the fullest. Luis Ramirez says, "Can you mention the?" Oh yeah, that's what you just asked. But thank you, man. We have 171 subscribers. That's dope, man. Being that we just started this, it means a lot. You know what I mean? Wait till we get to 1,000. Wait till we get to whatever. But yeah, man. So subscribe to the channel, share it, get your people. If you're into it, I appreciate you. I know I'm very schizophrenic in the way that I talk and subject hop, but I promise tomorrow I'll get back on it. I'll rap a lot more, and we'll talk. Give me some topics. We'll talk about things. Once again, you want to support the machine, support this podcast, PayPal me 2mex at gmail. Or go to 2mex.bandcamp and download the album. Shit, download Operation Dark Winter December, or any of my records. Man, I woke up with a stiff neck, dude. Now I just got a headache. I'm gonna drink this coffee and keep it moving. Anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll holler at you tomorrow, and see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Yeah, thanks. Peace.